People pleasing was my prison. I used to bend, I used to shrink, I used to silence myself just to please others, but not no more. I walk in freedom and not approval. Let's talk about people pleasing on today.
Loving me unconditionally.
Hello, my freedom walkers, and welcome to day 19. Can you believe it? Of this 30-day challenge of loving me unconditionally. Today, I want to talk about people pleasing. Yes, from people pleasing to freedom walking. That's why I call you guys freedom walkers. We're all freedom walkers here. Because people pleasing indeed was my prison. I felt like I had to always say yes, yes, yes to everything and make other people happy instead of making myself happy. So, what happened? How did I get to that place in my life of being a people pleaser? Um, I think it all started as a young child, not feeling worthy, not feeling up to par or good enough as everybody else. And of course, that came from the teasing, the bullying, and really, really wanting other people to like me because I felt inadequate. I didn't feel like that I measured up, that I was good as the rest of the kids or even adults in my life. The sexual abuse and feeling that this is something I can do to make people, make others happy, and it made the ones who abused me happy. The church traumas, but the constant dogma, but enjoying the positive praise and approval whenever I did something that was right, or sung the right song, or preached the right sermon, or whatever the case would be, or did things, a program, or whatever the case may be. My main issue was I always said yes to everything. You may still be in that situation now, but I always said yes to everything because I thought it made me meek and humble. I thought it made me more likable, more lovable, more acceptable to other people. And to just say yes, I had a hard time saying no. I felt like I disappointed other people. I felt like that. I think more than anything else, how would they treat me? How would they look at me? Would they still be my friends? Would they still love me? Would they still like me if I said no? So it's actually a place of really, really wanting other people to love and accept me. That's really the core of me being a people pleaser throughout my life. Um, I really, really, a lot of times wanted to say no, but I just couldn't. Right? Um, I even adjusted the way I walked, the way I talked, the way I dressed, or even believed, just to keep others happy, just to keep people approving of me, because I already felt like I was lesser than for having gay feelings and emotions. And I already felt lesser than, dirty, nasty, stinking. I felt like I was abomination from all of the community and church teachings and all of those things. Um, I remember being in like this teenage choir. That's when I really felt like, man, I can sing, I can do this thing, I can rock, I can. I had a charismatic like black flow of how to clap, how to sing, and I was really really good at it. But I remember starting off going to church earlier, like in my teenage years. Well, really from a childhood, but really getting involved in my teenage years. And in my later teenage years, maybe 17 or 18-ish, I wanted to move away and go to college, to like the Art Institute or whatever the case may be. And the programs I wanted was two schools out of the state in Georgia. And I was met with a lot of negativity, Like, you're gonna leave all these young people behind. They're depending on you. That's not good. Are you sure God wants that for your life? And someone even like prophesied and said that's what God doesn't want for my life. There's been many times people have prophesied and said that God doesn't want something for my life, when I really, really, um, and it all came down to like if I was going to move away, if I was going to switch, if I wasn't going to be available to them like they wanted me to be. So they would say, "Oh, you're leaving the ministry," and for some reason, leaving the ministry was so connected to leaving God. Um, oh, there is church on every corner, or whatever. Even going or not attending a church service automatically meant that that you weren't as holy enough, you weren't dedicated enough, that you're letting God down, or you're letting that pastor or preacher down, right? Um, so I became a people pleaser, even in those aspects of my life, man. I went to church all the time, all the time, all the time, right? Which really was less than not much room for my life, for me. If I wanted to follow my goals or dreams or passions, it was kind of stifled with like this guilt and shame, which I talked about already, but a lot of guilt, you know. Um, it made me feel exhausted, man, to be a people pleaser. It made me feel I was stuck, you know, like all these other people were moving forward or moving on in life, but I was still stuck in the same rut. And my place was to be submissive and humble and to help other people out. Um, I felt definitely disconnected from my true self. I felt like I couldn't really, really be me, because the real me was not likable. The real me was not lovable. The real me was an abomination. The real me was ugly, you know, from all the things that I've been told since I was like maybe 6 years old. I was fearful of being judged and rejected on so many levels. Of course, if I would like came out and said I was gay, man, um, not being a strong black man in the community, not living up to these expectations of how I should be. Um, I felt like I was always performing in order to in order to, I guess, earn people's love or even to feel safe. I felt like I had to constantly be a people pleaser, and I'm not blaming other people. I don't have time for that shit in my life, and I don't have. I'm not blaming other people. This is just my experience of my perspective of what I've. This is my truth, right? This is what I've been through. So what I did realize is that people pleasing was a trauma response. It was a trauma response, right? It was not my personality. In other words, people pleasing was a place for me to feel safe, to be accepted, to feel love, to fill that void in my life that I was missing, to basically not have, I didn't have self confidence. So I depended on the validations or the praises or the acceptance of others for me to feel good about myself. Um, I was trained to portray myself in order to feel safe. I was, but what I realized is that all this can be unlearned, guys. It can be unlearned. I'm telling you, I put in the work. It can be unlearned. You can choose freedom. I've learned how to choose freedom over prison, freedom over bondage. Right? I am healing now. I am now learning to say no without guilt. If it's something I don't want to do, why would I do it? Right? If it's something that makes me feel uncomfortable or compromises who I am or it causes me to dim my light, I'm not doing it, right? If it doesn't serve me, I can't do it. Being honest with myself is this is another way that I'm healing. I'm being honest with myself and about my needs and about my feelings, right? In any given situation or any given time, I observe my emotions. I come outside of who I am and I observe my emotions in the state that I'm in, and I analyze, why am I feeling this way? Why is this happening with my emotions right now? And it can be a multitude of things, right? But I don't just let it fester. I don't just I'm truthful with myself, and I don't just tell myself, oh, everything's okay when it's not okay. I understand the importance of positive affirmations, but to say everything's okay is not good. I want to deal with the issues. I don't want to brush them under the rug because I'm an imploder. So I can just build, and one day just fall to pieces. And I don't want to do that anymore. I don't want to sink into a deep depression because I am not dealing with my emotions, or I am just saying yes, yes, yes all the time and not knowing or not willingly saying no, no, no when I want to say no, right? I have that freedom. I have that sovereignty over my life to make decisions for myself, right? I surround myself with people who love the real me, the insecure me, the at times unhappy me, the at times falling short me, flawed me, not the version that I have to present for approval. That is so exhausting. Oh my goodness. That is so exhausting. I'm telling you to be constantly trying to live and be somebody else just for someone else's approval. It is so exhausting, and it is not our sole purpose in this world is to be somebody. I cannot be somebody else, right? And you don't have to be somebody else as well. You don't owe anyone a version of yourself that isn't real. I think I'll say that one more time. You don't owe anyone a version of yourself that isn't real. You owe that to absolutely no one on this planet. Your peace is not up for negotiation anymore. My peace is not up for negotiation. I am not negotiating my peace. My peace takes priority, right? Because at the end of the day, I have to live with myself. At the end of the day, I have to come home to me, right? And I have to make sure that Jay is okay. I have to make sure that I am okay. So I want people please. So there is a quote by Dr. Thema Bryant says, "You were not born to be who others need you to be. You were born to be free." Whoa, 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 whoa. You were not born to be who others want you to be or need you to be. You were born to be free. So I like the keyword born there because it's almost like some people are telling you that this is how you should be from birth on up. Like this is your responsibility in your family. You're Johnson, you're a Jacobs, you're whatever the case may be, and this is how we in our family act. This is how what we believe in our family. This is what we believe in our community. This is what we believe in our church, and this is how you should be at all times. If not, you are disappointing your family, your community, and you're letting them down. Man, I've heard that. Oh my gosh. What what, what's the word? Man, that is a harsh thing to put on a child or even an adult, to tell them you can't live your free self. You can't live freely. You have to follow our rules and regulations and what we believe in order for us to accept you. So you must be a people pleaser. No, no, no. Um, I want to take a moment and let's just point to ourselves. Point to yourself. And you ready? Say, I no longer abandon myself to be accepted by others. Say, I no longer abandon myself to be accepted by others. My truth is sacred. My peace is my priority. I walk in the freedom of being fully me. One more. Can we do one more? I release the need to be liked. I choose to be real. That hits home with me. I definitely release the need to be liked, even in this YouTube channel, whether people like it or not. This is for me first. I'm telling my truth. And I release that. I release that need to have other people to like me and not to live my true, authentic self. Those days are over. It'll wear you out. I'm telling you, it will wear you out. If you want to just take a moment and breathe in through your nose, breathe out through your mouth. One more time, breathe in, breathe out. And you can close your eyes and imagine yourself unhooking from every rope that ties you to others' expectations, that ties you to the expectations of others. Imagine those ropes just being unhooked, unraveled, unloosened, or loosened up. See yourself walking forward, lighter, freer, and whole. See yourself healing and being your own individual and being your own authentic self. Let that truth echo in your heart as you breathe it all in. And excel all of these roles that you no longer have to play in your life. Love yourself unconditionally. This is a journey. I'm not changing overnight. You're not expected to change overnight, but we're here to love ourselves unconditionally and to no longer be people pleasers. My name is J Love. Thank you so much for watching this episode. Subscribe, like, share. We got a ways to go. This is day 19. And you know what? I love you, and there's nothing you can do about it. Goodbye. Have a wonderful, wonderful day.
Loving me unconditionally. Loving me unconditionally. Through the fire, through the storm, I found the truth inside of me. Loving me unconditionally. Loving me unconditionally. No more shame, no more fear. I'm exactly who I'm meant to be.